Good evening, I'm Ed Roth, President and CEO of Altman Health Foundation. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Terry.
Hi.
And we're coming to you from our sunroom this evening for the Angels on the Runway virtual edition. We're so thankful to the ladies of the Women Board for planning a virtual event for us this evening so we could still get together for our annual fashion show that's become such a popular event year after year. We know because of the pandemic and COVID-19 virus, we're not able to gather like we'd like to. We hope that you are all safe and sound in your homes and you're staying healthy. And we pray that we'll all stay healthy over the coming months. Turn it over to Terry.
Yes, instead of being all together at the Lions Lincoln Theater, we are cozy at home with our watch party packs. And what's your favorite, Ed?
Well, I like those Reese's Pieces, Terry. That's one of my favorite candies.
That's his travel candy.
Yeah.
I like the popcorn, and I'm very fond of the angel ornament in there. It's very beautiful.
I want to say thanks to the ladies of the Women's Board for giving us these nice masks. We can't get enough masks these days.
That's for sure. So stay tuned until the end of the show when our chairs will draw the winners of the cash and Christmas tree raffles. Door prizes will also be given to those interacting with us throughout the event on the Women's Board Facebook page.
Great. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Karcher Group is in charge of production this evening of the great event. Spectrum Orthopedics, Patty and Mike Patchy, and Patty's one of our co-chairs this evening. Mm-hmm. And one of our favorite places to take our kids when they were growing up, the Hills and Dales Dairy Queen. Great peanut butter parfaits, if you know what I mean.
For sure. And then over to the playground to play.
Right.
So, funds raised tonight will support the hospice and grief services, including the Compassionate Care Center, which is so important to our community.
I always say that the Compassionate Care Center is the most important building that we have at Altman because it certainly is offering life-changing experiences and great end-of-life care. And I want to be so thankful to the Women's Board, ladies of the Women's Board, for all the things they've done for Altman over so many years, raising over $27 million for a variety of programs, services, and facilities. You guys do a great job. And we just want to toast you tonight and say thank you for all you do. Salud.
Salud.
Now we know the models are getting ready, getting prepared to come out onto the runway. So everybody have a great time and enjoy the show.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to be here, of course. It is our Angels on the Runway Fashion for a Cause presented by the Women's Board of Altman Hospital. Tonight's theme is On With the Show, and I am your host for the evening, Megan McRae from Q92. So you are stuck with me all night long. Now, obviously, things are a little different due to COVID, so this is our first time ever doing it completely virtual. We are super excited that all of you are here to watch. All right, so we know that you guys are hosting these amazing watch parties and sipping on those wonderful cocktails from Gervasi. I'm a little jealous, so definitely have one for me. We want to see all the fun that you guys are having, so do us a favor, do yourself a favor, take pictures and post them in the comments below so we can post them throughout the show. So if you're wondering where we are at the Lions Lincoln Theater in Massillon. It's absolutely beautiful. And of course, we are raising funds for Altman Hospice and Grief Services. I know the Compassionate Care Center is near and dear to the Women's Board. And now more than ever, we need to rally together to raise a ton of money. We want to show you a video to teach you a little bit more. So check this out.
We provide care here at the Compassionate Care Center as well as in patients' homes, which might also be a nursing home, as well as bereavement services after the patient has passed. While we are sitting here in the Compassionate Care Center, which was a major project of the Women's Board a few years back, hospice is much more than just this building. There's quite a variety of ways that we use donated funds. in ways that people would really not expect. Everything from groceries and utilities to some bigger items, including last wishes, and just everything in between. People sometimes think that it just goes into some large pool of money that doesn't really reach the families. Donated funds cover music therapy, patients that have not spoken or reacted to their families when Jocelyn, our music therapist, goes out and she starts playing music with them and maybe old favorites. They respond to her, they become more alert and maybe even sing along with her, whereas they maybe haven't spoken at all. When it comes to the Compassionate Care Center, or hospice in general, I hear words like awesome and amazing, and the staff treated us like family. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. Donations truly make an impact and a difference in the lives of our patients and families, as it allows us to provide services that increase their quality of life at the end of their life journey.
Now that was simply amazing, and the reason why we're all here tonight. Now I am so excited, and I'm sure all of you are. It's time for some fashion. Let's go on with the show. I mean, how awesome was that? Maybe next year they'll ask me to model instead of host, but I doubt it because I'm definitely not a model. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are so excited. We're having a blast. Right now, I want to bring somebody very, very special to the stage to join me. Please welcome Judy Minton, president of the Altman Women's Board. Judy, come on up.
Well, thank you, Megan.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Judy's going to tell us a little bit more about the Women's Board.
The Women's Board is a group of very dedicated women, 276 in number, who support Altman Hospital through fundraising and community involvement. In 2011, we completed a pledge for $3.6 million to fund the building of the Compassionate Care Center. So we are really proud tonight to present this show to raise money for the services for the Compassionate Care Center. I want to thank our audience for viewing this, our very first virtual fundraiser.
Absolutely, Judy, you are so right. And honestly, thank you so much for all that you do and the entire board. Like, thank you. Now, this is the perfect time. I need all of you to grab a tissue. You don't want to miss any of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a woman named Jenny, and she's going to explain to you how the Altman Grief Services helped her family and her through a very, very difficult time.
I'd been here several times to visit neighbors, and I just thought it was the most serene, most comfortable place I ever sat and felt so at peace. And then my husband was in the hospital. I just feel Compassionate Care Center is the best thing that happened for Gary and me during his illness. I don't know what we would have done without you. The night he passed, the nurse came in and I felt somebody tapping my arm like this. And she said, Jenny, he's gonna go. And I went, what? She said, he's going to go. He's gonna take his last breath. And I said, but he's so peaceful. He's laying there so peaceful. What do you mean? And she said, just wait, honey, wait. And she just kept patting me and patting me. And in a little bit, he went, whew. I looked at her. She said, that's good, but he'll do another one for sure. His second one was just because he didn't have that much more to give. So she put her arm around me and hugged me. And she said, now I'm going out and I'm going to shut the door. You take as long as you want. After she went out, I just walked around and I sat down in the chair and I laid my head on his chest and I just told him all the things, how wonderful of life we had had and how much I'd loved him. And I knew he loved me too. And I didn't want him to go, but I know you're going to be a better place, Gary, because you're through suffering. You're not going to have to suffer anymore. I'm sorry. He didn't really pass till 9/27. So when I was saying all that stuff, I know he heard me because your heart and your hearing are your last to go. So I knew he knew. I don't think anybody realizes how much care you do give in the time frame you're there. I think they would be surprised. And I know I never knew. I didn't know it would be like it was. And I didn't know you would get so attached to the people. Well, I'll tell you, after they come a little while, they're like your family. They were wonderful. If we'd have been there alone, Gary would have suffered a lot more. I tell everybody, if you need a hospice, if you don't go there, you're going to miss out.
A big thank you to Jenny for sharing her very special story. And now is the perfect time to head over to altmanfoundation.org to donate. And now we're super excited. We're gonna get back to the show and one of my favorite parts, which of course is local designers. All right, now we're going to wrap up this incredible evening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Megan McCrae from Q92, your host of the evening. Right now, I want to take a minute to thank all of our sponsors. Thank you so much. Without all of you guys, tonight would not be possible. And a big thank you to our production sponsor, the Karcher Group, and our media sponsor, Q92. It has been a blast. We saw some amazing fashion, some awesome stories. Now I'm going to take you out to the lobby with co-chairs Patty Paschke and Darla Brown. Of course, they're going to be announcing those raffle winners and door prizes.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you to all of you for joining us tonight in this, our very first virtual fashion show. I'm Darla Brown, and this is Patty Paschke, and together we have co-chaired tonight's events.
You know, Darla, I'm learning that we can be connected and united without being physically together. So we are thrilled to pivot and go on with the show and continue our support of the Compassionate Care Center.
You know, hearing that COVID-19 had really impacted the services of Altman's hospice and grief services, and hearing Jenny's story like we did earlier tonight really impacted us and allowed us to further our resolve to make this event happen tonight and raise a lot of money for those services. And being able to pivot to this virtual format does introduce us to a much larger audience than we've had before.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors for believing in us as we did venture into new territory. We'd also like to thank our models, our designers, our fashion stores. And we'd like for you to stay tuned at the end of the show, because those same fashion stores are going to be offering some amazing discounts and perks to all of you viewers.
We'd also like to thank our committee. They've been very fabulous through this entire event. Completely turning into a virtual event is a big, big change, and they've done a fantastic job. Hopefully we've all enjoyed the fruits of their labor tonight. Also, I'd like to thank Patty for co-chairing this with me and pulling me along on this adventure. I've learned a lot, and I've loved working with you.
Oh, thank you, Darla. And I want to thank you. I mean, Darla really believed in making this event happen, and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here either. She made me believe we could do it. I'd also like to take a second and thank my family for being so amazingly supportive. And now we would like to go on with the door prize and raffle winners.
So anybody that has donated or purchased a watch kit or a raffle ticket is already eligible to win this one.
First of all, let's start with our door prize. Thank you to Matthew Thiel, DDS, for sponsoring our $500 cash door prize. I think that's in this bag. Okay, got a ticket here. Door prize goes to Joanne Kuntz. Congratulations, Joanne.
Awesome.
And let's go to the raffles now.
Okay, awesome. The $1,000 raffle, I think, is this bag. Thank you to all of you that have purchased. And that goes to Darlene Violet. Congratulations, Darlene.
And the last raffle is the angel tree. So the beautiful angel-themed holiday tree drawing. I'm gonna pick a name in here. Okay, I got one. The angel tree goes to Cheryl Paxis. Congrats, Cheryl. We'll be in contact with you shortly to arrange delivery of those prizes.
Awesome. I would like to thank you all for participating tonight. I know a lot of people participated on Facebook as well, and we were able to give away some awesome door prizes there too.
And they shared some amazing photos. There are a lot. Thank you so much for sending in those photos. We really appreciate it.
So as we end the show, let's go ahead and take a look at those photos and see all the fun that you've been having.
And again, thank you so much. Stay safe and have a great night.